Why do I keep talking about dealerships? This is a car hauling show, right? Where do people buy cars? Who goes to the auto auctions? And what do you see everywhere you go? Yeah, we're going to talk about dealers, dealerships, and Automotive BDC. So buckle up and bring your pencils. It's Tuesday Nights Live on Auto Transport Intel. I'm Jay, your host. Welcome back to the show. Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to Tuesday Nights Live on Auto Transport Intel. I am Jay, your host, and we're back. Yes, we're back. That's right. And we're actually, as you know, we are... Oh, let me turn this audio down. That'll make us crazy. We are live on YouTube and Facebook simultaneously. And we're doing that so that, we can reach more people and bring more people into the fold, into the Auto Transport Intel network, which just keeps growing, man. I'm telling you, I'm excited to see you guys in the live chat. I'm happy that it's Tuesday. As always, I'm really excited to be here, but also can I do it again? Am I going to go live? Is everything going to work? Hey, by the way, if you've never been here before, let me tell you what's going on. First, I run the car hauler, and I also want to say this: if you're watching on demand, if you're not live and you're watching later on demand, you can go down below in the description and you can just jump straight to sections of the video that you want to go to. Shoot, you can jump to the commercials if you want to. Do that. That'd be great. But if you're here with me now, I'm going to say hello into the live chat here in a minute. The live chat is a huge part of the show. Cool. I see Facebook happening. I see YouTube happening. If you can see me and hear me okay, please let me give me a good mic check. Hey, and don't be shy with that like button. That helps a lot too. I really appreciate that. So then I go into industry news, and that's the memes and the stuff off of Facebook. Funny stuff, actual news, maybe, broken trailers or whatever. You send it to me and I'll share it. Oh, and I got statistics. I got some statistics tonight. That'll be interesting. Then we're going to go into the information superhighway. Now, I used to have it said, it used to be 20 minutes. I moved it to 25 because I'm always pushing the boundary of how much time it takes to do what. Got a lot of business to take care of, but I like the information superhighway. That's when I set up the topic, which really tonight is Automotive BDC. But that also includes car hauler business. Listen, I'm telling you, if you're a car hauler, you're a carrier, and you want to improve your car hauling business, I do have some ideas for you tonight. That's why I kind of go outside the box. There's other guys showing you how to strap down cars onto trailers. Those guys, absolutely, that's great stuff. But this is a business channel, and that's why, if you're an OEM, if you're a dispatch manager, broker, insurance agent, I do believe this show has something for you. So I want you to stick around and let me know in the live chat what you're looking for, what's working for you. At 35 minutes into the show, auto hauler, auto dealer, Automotive BDC with Ty Thompson of CTS Business Coaching. We're going to start to talk about where we've been recently, what we've been learning lately, and some of the other folks that are helping push the message of building your business with the help of a dealership, helping the dealer help build their business. I know it's contrary to what we, this has nothing to do with dispatchers, Jay. You're right. It doesn't. And I want to help you with that, okay? I really, really do. Automotive BDC, we're going to open up the live panel discussion with BDC Colin Thomas. He is not messing around. Serious BDC. And then Benny of Marketing Solutions STL. He was with us before in a past show. He's going to be with us again tonight, so I hope you'll stick around for that. Listen, it's really going to be a great show. I'm looking forward to it. Before I get into the live chat, I just want to say hello. Murphy Auto Transport Dispatch Service. Check this out.
Are you completely stressed out from all the calls and the contacts and the notification of loads and nobody answers the phone? Call Murphy Auto Dispatch Services today. Murphy Auto Dispatch Services has over 15 years of experience in the transport industry. We are your office while you are on the road. We book, we verify, and we fill out your loads for you. We have an excellent accounting staff and an even better dispatch team. Give us a call today at 417-273-0021. Or if you want to email me, it's murphyautotransport31@yahoo.com. Give us a call today.
Phone number, email address. No kidding. I talked to Sue today. Sue is on it. Wait till you find out what Sue's doing with Automotive BDC. Seriously, there is money to be had at the dealerships. If you're a car hauling business, but if you don't want to mess around with that, I guarantee there are other people that will go ahead and help get part of that money on your behalf. You already know that's part of the problem. You're staring at the load boards all day and you're wondering why, oh why, aren't there more loads popping up? Well, because someone else is further up the hose controlling the spigot. Get further up the hose. Get closer to the spigot. That's no joke, right? Seriously, I saw it on Facebook today. Hey, it's dead coming out of Florida. You're darn right. It's usually dead. It's more dead than it is ever. I mean, I don't know what to say, man. Seriously, I'm not kidding around. But before I go further into hauler, dealer, automotive BDC, let's go into the live chat. Bill Bad Apples is with us. Happy Tuesday. What's going on, car people? Jay and Ty. Ty says, is this where you find dealers? You're darn right it is. Brian Tran is with us. Hey, what's up, Brian? Thanks for joining the show. New to the business. You can't access the load board on Central Dispatch. I know, because they don't have a sandbox. I don't know why. If I built a load board, I would absolutely have a sandbox where you could play around and find out if this is for you. Almost everything else offers that, but what do I know? The bills are coming. Please help. Yeah, I know. I hear you. Is there a way to book loads while waiting on Central Dispatch to review my application? The answer would be no. There is not a way. Why? I don't know. Brian, where do you live? David, hey, Ty, what are the pros and cons of working under someone else's authority? Good question, David, and I'm glad you're asking. Better to find out now than the hard way. Am I right? Ty, David, oh, depends. Wendy, hey, love the show. Thank you, Wendy. I appreciate it. Brian Tran, you may need to call. Check in with Sue. That's right. So Sue at Murphy Auto Transport. Listen, if you need a dispatcher, you might be in a situation where you need a dispatcher. Talk to Sue at Murphy Auto Transport. Absolutely. But before you do, Ty might want to have a talk with you because you might be able to drink further up the spigot. It's just a thought. Already dead. She's not taking any new clients. Yeah, you know what? That's what happens when you're a good dispatch service. Well, I'll tell you what. I think we've got some other dispatch services that we're trying to bring as backups. So check in with Ty. Absolutely check in with Ty. All right, what else we got here? Let's see here. David, Bill, David, you guys know, see, I'm backwards in time. By the way, I'm over here on, here's the Facebook stuff. We got Kimberly. Hey, what's going on, Kimberly? We got Ziggy. What's going on, Ziggy? Montario Adams. He's mentioning Adam. He's like, Adam, you got to check out this show, bro. Cool, man. Awesome. Loving it. What else we got in here? Oh, let me back up here. Hey, wow, man. Yeah, see, YouTube is used to the show. Facebook is like, what just happened? Why do we have this other guy going live on Facebook? We've already got plenty of people going live, right? I know, right? Who needs another show? Need another show like I need another, low-paying car showing up in Florida. Seriously, I get it. I know. More David and Ty. Wow. Gerard, hey, you were waiting for this? Thanks, Gerard. I appreciate that. You know what? Honestly, guys, it really means a lot. I get emails thanking the show, and that means so much. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad it's helping, because this is what I do, right? I make a show where I help educate and bring the auto transport industry together. And I need experts like Ty to help me fill out the program. But I'll tell you what, you know what I'm pretty good at? Is just walking up to OEMs and dealers and insurance agents and talking, introducing myself, and try to bring them on the show to impart knowledge onto you guys. Wow, that's actually going pretty well. I'm really excited about the way the networking is growing. So thank you, Gerard. It really means a lot. Am I going to start the show? No. Seven Seas Transport. What's up, Artie, man? Thanks for tuning in. Carlos, hey, ACB Logistics. Mark retracted his message. No problem. Michael Chance, hey, what's up? Nick Hop, what's up? Mark, oh, you excited for the show? Thanks, man. I appreciate that. It means a lot. Slow Money's with us. He's taking a look. Mark from Superflow's with us. What's up, Mark, man? Looking forward to having you on the show. We got about you got like 5 more weeks. Tim, LRT Transport. Hey, looking forward to the show. Paul, what's going on? M, Transportation. Adam, how's it going, everyone? Joseph McCleary. I'm just another Joe, starting a new auto transport hotshot LLC north of Elkhart, serving Chicago to Elkhart. Hearing you loud and clear, 5 by 5. Well, listen, man, you know what's cool? Thank you, Joseph. You've got a running lane, right? You know, you have a plan. That's great, man. That's awesome. I mean, that's like awesome, dude. Lots of people don't have a plan, and that's okay too. Keep researching. But if you don't have a plan, don't buy a truck. Not yet. Talk to Ty. ctsbusinesscoaching.com. Thank you, Kimberly, for putting in the Murphy Auto Transport information. That's awesome. Mark, Muzi is the man. Truckify app is going places and will be to the app for the POV carrier. That's really interesting. I was talking to a member of an OEM, and I was talking about POV moves, and he literally, never thinks about that. The individual to the individual move. It's a lot of vehicles, and it's probably the most frustrating car to move. Am I right? Right? One car needs a low rate, needs to be able to work around the hair appointment or pick you up at the airport. Like, some people think they're going to just fly to an airport and then, like, the transporter will roll in with fresh coffee and bear claws. It's wild, man. It's really wild. And I've been the dispatcher on the phone. I know what I'm saying is true. So if you can build a technology, and I'll tell you what, it's interesting. The more maps and information I see, if you can build a good mobile app technology to help the carrier manage their loads for the POV moves, yeah, man, that's a pretty good idea. Frank Wright, SNA Logistics here. What's up, Frank? M Fields, it's Marcus from Exclusive Luxury Transport in Las Vegas. What's up, Marcus? Sergio Josefino, hello, NVS here. What's up? Man, you guys, thanks so much for tuning in. This is awesome. Toe Piglet is with us. What's up, Toe Piglet? Shaggy's with us. What's up, Shaggy? I'm not too loud, am I? I'm not yelling. I'm not distorting. Am I distorting? I hope not. I'm leaning into the microphone. Like, like when you bogart the microphone. Like, that's, like it's some kind of a nightclub. 2 rabbis walk in on a, okay. So, Will H., any dispatchers in the South region? Good question, Will. And by the way, I've met a couple dispatchers that, they're looking to meet some carriers. Man, the live chat is the place. If you are looking to promote your business or connect with a business service, this live chat, man, this off the hook. Oh, we got Michael Beaver over here in Facebook. Vincenzo Sorrentino just joined on Facebook. Vinny of Viper Transport. What's up, Vinny? Vinny's like, Vincenzo, what? Forget about it. Colin Thomas, happy to be here. Hey, what's up? This is BDC Colin in the house, folks. Francisco's LLC. Hey, buddy, first time. Thank you for tuning in. You need a dispatcher. Yeah, man. I bet there's one in here waiting to work for you. What's up, Muzi? Andre Nasambini. What's up? Tim at LRT. Mike Devins. This place is going crazy. If this was a saloon, the piano player's loud and the cigar smoke's filling the ceiling and people are still piling in and the doors keep swinging. The Auto Transport Intel Saloon. Is that BDC calling in the house? It is. So that's the hello live chat. So listen, here's what's going to happen. I am going to we're going to learn a little bit more about Sun Country Trailers, why Sun Country Trailers rocks, and then we're going to go into industry news. Please stick around.
At Sun Country Trailers, we're committed to manufacturing durable car haulers that get the job done safely and efficiently. Our skilled team hand-builds each next-generation anniversary edition 5-car hauler using precision-cut parts for industrial strength and ease of loading, ensuring premium quality you can rely on. Its low-profile, star-punched flooring, hydraulic systems, and 3-point ratchet straps allow for safe and easy loading, while the tubed frame and powder coat finish provide unmatched durability. The angled curve at the front of this car carrier allows for more room in the first 2 positions. Designed for moving minivans, SUVs, and crossovers, the additional space also allows for more creative loading. There are a wide variety of optional upgrades to choose from, such as heavy-duty ramps, LED light packages, flip-out extensions, and more to create the perfect hauler for every job. Whether you're hauling regionally or nationally, low profile or high profile, trust Sun Country Trailers to go the distance. Learn more online at suncountrytrailers.com or give us a call at 866-887-2453.
Yeah, man, that last riff. Sun Country, man. Get in on that. I'm telling you, if you have a question about a Sun Country trailer, you want to talk to Eliza at Sun Country Trailer and Sales and Marketing. You can also ask Ty. You can ask me. And there's the info right there. Thanks, Kimberly. Put the info in there. So it's right there in the live chat for ease of reference. So, just, kicking off, you guys know that this is the Build Your Business at the Dealership show on Auto Transport Intel Tuesday nights live. We have already been on for 17 minutes, but if you're just joining the show, you haven't missed a thing. Join the live chat. Give a like, share, subscribe, resubscribe. Click the notification bell. Resubscribe. All right, it is time for industry news. What in the world is industry news? Industry news is the stuff that I like. So she's thinking, I'll bet he's thinking about another woman, and he's thinking, if I get up, maybe I can get by that southbound scales before they open up. That is hilarious, man. So true. When you want to drive a semi, but can't pass the CDL test, thing looks like a boat. It's like a small yacht. It's like a yacht, small yacht on wheels.com. If it fits, it ships. No joke. That's like one of them armored military. You guys get. How do you even? Come on. Are you serious? How'd you even get that in there? Is that in the U.S.? What is going on here? That is crazy. You drive. Oh, I just saw this on Facebook today. Look at the cat. Right? I mean, this... Look at it. That is hilarious. It's a family show. That's why I'm not reading it. You guys can read. I know you know those words. Meanwhile... Oh, yeah, okay. So, meanwhile, okay. The DOT guy, right? Let's see if I can... What do you got in here? Meanwhile... No seatbelt, bad tag, no insurance, speeding, tail light out. Not to mention, this is still happening. Where is it at? Oh, I can't get back to the cat. Oh, well. Did I lose it? All right, here we go. All right, next. What do we got next? Oh, only a flatbedder is man enough to haul a tornado. It's pretty good. That's not even Photoshop. That's real, dude. Oh, man. Again? Really? What is it, crashing? Dispatchers be like, you'll make it. Yeah, I think Griffo shared this one. I'm pretty sure this was PA or New Jersey. And there's no telling how many violations you got going on there, buddy. Even if it doesn't fit, it ships. Uh-huh. It's really interesting. Boy, he got that crutch pretty fast, didn't he? It's odd. You will go! Where's my gate pass? Printer is that way. Caption this. That should be a caption this. Caption this. What's he thinking? I think this was another Griffo. Griffo does a lot of social media. Hey, man. If you are working, you need an Auto Transport Intel t-shirt. I gotta open up the store. I am behind on that. Hey, by the way, let's see. Let's see. We got Romeo, Paul Roberts, Moncho Gutierrez, Ionia. Ship your car now. Oh, ship your car now. Sweet. If you're just joining the show and you're in the live chat, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, please say hello. Welcome to the show. Really means a lot. Thanks for joining us. Oh, yeah, this is interesting. This makes me think of, dude, when we were in Detroit, all right, this is the level of, like, international automotive logistics that they're talking about in Detroit. Here's your expedited air shipping. No joke. Check this out, right? Okay, there's the empty, right? Check this out. Boom. Man, look at those cars. That is nice. And this is the high price stuff, man. This is not Copart. Boom. Look at that, man. It is awesome. And if it's expedited, we met some companies in Detroit. They specialize in like super same day ASAP. Oh my gosh. And we were talking to somebody. So what's it like, when you hire that company? And they're like, oh my God. Like, it's ridiculous money. You may as well buy the car. Oh, here's actual news. Trump will end California's authority to set stricter auto emissions rules. People were like, oh, thank goodness. Now you got all them cars, man. California traffic and emissions, man. It's insane, dude. Oh, okay. I told you we'd have some statistics. So check this out. This is kind of cool. By the way, if you're a mobile app and a load board, adding more value to the car haulers' load and thinking, like ELD, right? This stupid thing, okay? It tells you that you're late and that you're ugly, okay? But what if your mobile app could do even more? Like tell you, you are making money on this run, last week was better. This is very interesting. Now, I'm not saying that Shift.Cars necessarily does that, but I am saying that they... looks like they've got some statistical information. So they sent out an email. And I just in general, I appreciate this email. This is the kind of thing I want to see more of and share more of. And this is, at the shows. And I got some more information for you to share. But, cents per mile, historically, now that's pretty interesting. Look at that. It's dropping. I think this is the load board rate, national carrier pay. Right. Based on what, right? I know somebody said that. But, and here's the thing is, one person might say, well, actually, you got to ask where. Okay, so this is nationally? So are you saying the Northeast is balancing out that, like, the 20 cents a mile cars posted in Atlanta? I don't know, man. It's not good, because that's not good pay. If that is the load board, that's not very good. You can fill a spot, I guess, but you're not gonna pay off your truck, your insurance, yourself, right? Your maintenance, and then all your fees and your IFTA and dude, you're not gonna make it, dude. Seriously. Okay. So, all right, 60s is better. North. Oh, now look at that. How interesting is that? This is really good. So north to south. West to east? No surprise. Never book a car cross country west to east. Man, you will take a bath. South to north, wow, and it's got the changes. Man, that's odd. This is good stuff. Okay. Highest value in the northeast, no surprise. Man, this is really great stuff. Data is king, isn't it? So I just put this in there since I shared that data. I found it interesting. This is the ship.cars interface. Is that it? Oh, that's it. Okay. Cool. And it's 8:25. Are you kidding me? I said we'd go into information superhighway at 8:25. I'll tell you what we're going to do is we're going to go into the superhighway. Before we do, we're going to hear a word from Gopher. Are you looking for a good mobile app? Listen, are you hauling new and used cars? You need that extra level of EDI with the OEM to make sure that all of the VINs are taken care of. And you just turn and burn, right? Because you got contract business. Check out Gopher mobile app.
Welcome to the Gopher driver app training tutorial. Once it is open, you can enter your username and password, then click Log In. The first screen you arrive to is a list of all stop locations assigned to you. Click Arrive. Tap Photos to take pictures of the vehicle. In this screen, select your damage codes and tap on the affected area of the vehicle and then click Save. AIAG codes are required for OEM damage reporting. Select your options and add codes as needed. The last button to click is Load. You can also input the customer name and email address if they want a copy of the order. The delivery process is very similar to the pickup process, except now you are unloading vehicles, then working through to the outgate. If you have any additional questions, feel free to call 760-267-9040 or email support@gopher.com.
Man, I'm telling you, seriously, if you have any questions at all, talk to Niles at Gopher. You can also watch past shows where Niles and Gopher Auto Carrier Software, they've been on the show. You can learn all about it. Actually, what I did is there's a video interview. It's about 30 minutes long, and he's got an interview and demo all in one video. That's a good video, so check that out. Gopher Auto Carrier Software. I also noticed over here on Facebook, Christy Jacobs says, hey, this is the first time making a live show. Thank you so much. You know what? And I also see in the YouTube live chat, YR Bams, he's here. K9 Auto Transport, Adam M loves the Intel. Ooh, Nocturnal Bloodlust Emo. What's up? Okay. Sweet. Is this where you find CBD? No, it's BDC. Listen, I'm serious with y'all. Okay, so we're going to go into the information superhighway. All right, so what am I talking about? With all the BDC and the... Okay, so first of all, you're at Auto Transport Intel. YouTube channel. If you're just tuning in right now, welcome to the show. And listen, if you come and go or you just watch on demand, totally welcome. I really appreciate it. And hopefully you are gaining some insight. Every show is a little bit different. I try not to be too repetitive. And we're going to keep moving around. There's a lot of... This is a huge industry. Dude, the automotive logistics industry is enormous. We haven't even talked about Ro-Ro shipping. What happens if I can get Trinity Rail on the show? I'm not kidding. We haven't even talked about, North American Free Trade Agreement. We haven't even gone over one of the oceans and brought in a guest from over the ocean. That's going to happen in the future. So I really, really appreciate it. That's what Auto Transport Intel is all about. I'm live on YouTube and I'm live on Facebook. You can go to autotransportintel.com. That's kind of, it's more bloggy. There's some videos up here. I mean, you can find all that stuff on YouTube. But I get a lot of people asking me questions through the .com. And that's where you'll find the 20 steps to start car hauling blog post. We'll look at that here, I think, in a second, too. You can go to CTS Business Coaching. By the way, if the audio and the video get off of sync a little bit, it's because I got all this stuff. I got a whole control room running on a freaking laptop. So I'm sorry about that. I hope to improve that in the future. But it's okay. CTSBusinessCoaching.com wants to help you research and learn what you need to know before you start car hauling. By the way, where were we? last week we were at Automotive Logistics, Global Detroit. They've already moved on to the next event. Their next event is in Europe. These guys are truly global. So check out automotivelogistics.media. Great bunch of people too. Awesome. And they're based in London. What a great organization. Okay. You want to start car hauling? I mean, we get an email every day. You want to start car hauling? All right, so you go to Google, you type in start car hauling. What happens? You start watching Auto Transport Intel videos. That's a great idea. Now also, what you do is you stumble upon this Auto Transport Business Startup. I wrote the 20 steps to start car hauling. That was a year ago that I posted this, and you got 2 blog posts of 10 steps, each one leading up to 20 steps. 10 times 2 is 20. Check the math. Okay, no, seriously, listen, I want you to read through this. And what I realize over time, we always want to go back, and over time we wish we could update something, and we can. But my point is that some of the basics are here, but for your setup, for your setup, wherever you are, what you're going to haul, what you're going to drive, how many cars you're going to carry, and the size of your company, etc. This is where you want to hook up with Ty at CTS Business Coaching. But keep researching. Okay, you've researched. You've done your homework. You've decided you're pushing all your chips in. I want to be a car hauler. You start getting your equipment. You get your MC. You're getting your CDL, and you go sign up at Central Dispatch. We saw this in the live chat. Every week we see this. Somebody's signing up for Central Dispatch. They're waiting on Central. They think as soon as it kicks in, they're going to be able to just book cars and hit the ground running. Not exactly. You know why? Because now you're at the mercy of the brokers. And being at the mercy of brokers, anyone that's done that for a while will tell you is tough. It's tough. And why are you at the mercy of the brokers? Because you're just relying on a load board. And by the way, in 2019, today's load board, you still have to pick up the phone and call. You can't just book loads that are posted by the shipper and the carrier connects and you just book it online. We don't have Uber Freight yet. All right? Yes, there are companies working on different technologies. Yes, true. But everybody knows that people really go to Central Dispatch still because of the volume. And if you're doing that, you're relying on dispatchers and brokers, and you are drinking further down the hose. It's true. We don't want you to do that. That's why we're going to talk about, we're going to lead you up to Automotive BDC. What is this BDC, Jay? All right. Business Development Center. What is a BDC at a car dealership? A BDC is a separate telemarketing department in the dealership set up to make outbound phone calls to potential customers. Basically, somebody on the phone getting customers, making sure that inbound and outbound customers are being managed. Don't let any leads fall through the cracks. Okay, what does this have to do with car hauling? Because you in car hauling, you can do this too. You can. Don't just leave it up to the dealership. In fact, tap into the dealership's BDC. If they're not letting any leads fall through the cracks, you don't need to either. Don't just have a dispatcher. Have an in-house sales and marketing team. Maybe it's the same person. Hi, I'm the dispatcher, sales, and marketing team. Okay, and I work in-house. And I'm not just searching Central. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I mean, you can, if you want to. I'm not sure if you should, though. Customer service. The customer service department at the dealership is part of the involved sector of the BDC. And that's what we're going to learn more about tonight. So if you're not just a car carrier, you're a dealership, you're an OEM, you're a broker, dispatcher, insurance agent, trailer manufacturer, there is something here for you. And by the way, listen, I realize some of what I said sounds like, hey, man, you're picking on my department. I'm not. Everything is needed here. Brokers are important in this business. Who's going to educate the personally owned vehicle shipper about the process? You think the carrier can spend 2 hours on the phone doing that? No way, man. You guys know what I'm talking about. So yeah, there is a place for brokers. And dispatchers, hey man, who's going to verify the lot number and the phone number and the address and all that stuff and get the gate pass and the dock receipts? What, is the driver going to do that while he's loading his car, balancing his phone? No, he's not. That's the dispatcher's job. What is a BDC? Just about everyone I talk to in the business says they have a BDC. When I ask them what their BDC does, I get everything from 2 ladies that answer phones for the service department in the afternoons to a phone room that pounds customers with razzle-dazzle. Whatever it takes, man. Make that phone call. Add value, right? If you can add value on the phone, well, then you can definitely prove that when you send the bill because your service was awesome, you've added value. What is a BDC manager? We're going to be talking about that. And this is why do we suck at BDC retention? This is posted by, can you see it there? BDC Colin Tom. BDC Colin Thomas. He's with us on the show tonight. Oh, 708 Redline. You might be able to call him right now. There he is. He's in the live chat. I see you have the driving sales, what is a BDC thread up on your screen. I made a contribution to this post about 2 years ago. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. You know what, guys? It's a real treat that we have Colin Thomas with us tonight. Benny's going to make it too. He's going to be in the live chat. I think he is. I think he's got, he's busy with family stuff right now, and that's great. Trucking is a family industry, so we get that. Listen, we all have times where, we have to put family first. We like to do that. In fact, that's one of the reasons we're in this business, because we want to put our family first in our lives, in our passion, in our business, and America. Darn it. Okay, listen. What does BDC stand for? That is the CTS Business Coaching question of the day. What does BDC stand for? Now, let's see here. I'm going to make it. Watch this. Okay. Where'd he go? Where did Jay go? Listen, here we go. There we go. I got one of them fancy schmancy electrical tape hacker covers, right? Okay, listen. What we're going to do is, I'm like, you need to sit down and be, okay. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to bring Ty into the show. I'm really excited to have Ty on the show. We had a lot of fun in Detroit, and we're going to keep that going. Listen, I see you guys joining me on Facebook. I see you joining on YouTube. Thank you so much. Stick around because we're going to be right back with Ty Thompson. It's going to be great.
Hey guys, Ty, CTS Business Coaching. I connect dealers, auctions, and carriers. If you're a dealer and you're not getting your inventory on the lot in 5 days ready to sell, you've got a problem. It's called interest. Like I'm telling you something you don't know. Give me a call. I can connect you with an auction and a carrier, and you can get your cars on the lot in 5 days or less. 417-483-2764. Thanks and have a great day.
Historically, buying and selling wholesale vehicles is time-consuming, expensive, and loaded with risk. With ACV, our 20-minute online auctions provide immediate access to thousands of dealers who are ready to buy. Our inspectors complete comprehensive condition reports right at your dealership, from engine fluid levels and OBD2 scans to paint meter readings and tire tread depths with tons of high-res photos. Our condition reports take the guesswork out of wholesale. The ACV team comes to your dealership, inspects the vehicles you'd like to sell, and loads them into the app, and you're selling vehicles in no time. There are no fees for running a vehicle that doesn't sell, and you don't have to worry about transportation to a physical auction. See how ACV can work with your dealership at acvauctions.com.
All right. Cool, man. Checking it out. So listen, we got Ty coming in here in a second. And while we're doing that, listen, I saw a couple comments. Check it out. Adam says brokers are glorified car salesmen. Well, here's the deal, man. Somebody has to be that. Somebody has to do the talking to the customer, education, get them excited, make them understand that the value is being added by your service, right? Because you provide a service, right? You're car hauling. Right, you work in car hauling, you're providing a service. So be that glorified car salesman. That's the whole point of the BDC, is that you're adding value, right? You can talk about it, right? It's interesting. Ty was talking to me about how when he tries to explain, okay, let's say you're a new car hauler, okay, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get my truck, I'm gonna get my insurance, I'm gonna get my dispatcher, and I'm gonna get rolling, and everything's gonna be great. Okay, true enough. That could be true. That could be true. But what made you decide to be a car hauler in the first place? Because you like driving? Because you like cars? Because you can speak car? Because you're a good mechanic? You know, if you're great with your truck, you can tell somebody. You want to tell somebody, hey, what's up, Ty?
Whoa, sorry about that. Came in like, woo, sliding in.
Whoa.
Yeah, you probably wonder why I'm so dressed up, right?
Ty, why are you so dressed up?
Well, I don't know if it was Detroit or what, but Sunday came around, and I've had nothing but a cold, sneezing, running nose, all kinds of bad stuff.
Is that right?
Right now I'm freezing.
You are?
Yeah.
Don't you? Oh man, don't you hate that when you get? I mean, right? You get a little bit of cold going on, and I know, I know what you mean,
Dude, you've been throwing down some amazing stuff.
dude.
You're like on fire, man. Is there?
Well, I try. I mean, by the way, you know what I just noticed, and that's part of it too. These shows, when I get working on this stuff, and I'm doing emails and all this stuff. And you know what? I don't have a live scroll tonight. I didn't get the live scroll updated.
Whoa.
I know. I didn't. So there's no live scroll tonight. I didn't even finish. I gotta get Collins lower thirds in here. This is a live show, dude.
Yeah, that's what's so fun about it.
We're real people. We're real people. This is really happening. We're live on Facebook and YouTube. By the way, you know, and that's part of it too. Is that. We know, like, sometimes we're watching something or we're talking to somebody and we don't feel like we're getting the best advice, right? Don't you hate that?
I do.
I hate it too.
Feels like you're wasting time.
Right. And we were in a couple conversations like that this past week, weren't we? People,
yeah, I'd say.
Right? Where people missed the opportunity to be their own glorified car salesman. You know, call it what you want. But you got to take the opportunity to add value, right? Okay.
Slow,
right, here, I know. Well, you have a cold. Let's take it easy. No, seriously. Yeah. We witnessed a guy totally blow it with a great opportunity. He was right there.
Oh, he was, dude. He was sitting right in the middle of amazing. Okay, amazing meaning, okay, all my fleet guy buddies out there, just imagine sitting with, like, say, for example, GM or Ford or, say, maybe Nissan, right in the middle of that. And then, go ahead. I'll let you keep going.
No,
sorry.
That's it. Yeah, no. We were sitting with OEMs, and it was a fleet guy, and he failed to just
listen.
I guess, man, he didn't connect.
But
he didn't listen.
Ooh.
And these opportunities, why drop the ball on this opportunity? And then later on, right? Then you go back and you're like, man, these rates suck on this load board. Guess why? Because you had the opportunity to drink further up the hose and you dropped the ball. So yeah, you're gonna go back down the trough and drink the little slurp instead of drink, right? You had it right here. You had a full glass right here, but now you're on the little slurp, okay? Don't do it.
Man, that was a bad deal. And here's the crazy part. If I wasn't sitting there, I wouldn't believe a word of it.
Exactly. Just, okay, right? And that's who, people are listening right now like, yeah, Jay, your little slurp talk. Seriously. We both witnessed it, and we're like, what?
Oh, yeah. It was crazy. So the cool part is this. Let's go back to, I did a coaching this morning. Husband, wife, great couple. Bought a Stinger. Okay, does everybody remember what a Stinger is? Jay?
Stinger, absolutely. I'm with you. I know what a Stinger is.
That's where you put cars on the tractor and cars on the trailer. Usually 9, maybe 10. So I bought this. And, okay, so this is, I learned this from Shaggy, terminology. It's a real important thing, right? So this this guy wants to get his own authority, his own truck. So we're having this conversation. I'm thinking the whole time he's going to get his own authority, his own truck. He's going to go start building his own business. So I go into my normal speech about dealers, right? 5 categories of car dealers. I'm running down the list, and we're talking, conversations getting close to over. And he says just something real simple. And I'm like, wait a minute. You're wanting to lease on to the big carrier, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's not, I want to just get my own authority and get work from these guys. I'm going to lease on to them. So what happens when you lease on to somebody?
Man.
Right?
Right.
You're pretty much like this. Ooh.
And what's interesting, Hotshot Dave, he talks about this all the time. It's working for him.
Well, and it could be a different deal. There's different, like you could be Hotshot Dave and have your own authority. And Jay and I want to buy a 1-ton and a 3-car trailer, and we don't want to get our own authority. So we lease on to Hotshot Dave, right? We're leasing on.
Right.
Anyway, here's where it goes. As it unfolds, it comes out the name of the carrier that he wants to lease onto happens to be somebody you and I were hanging out with, the CEO, right?
Okay, not too many breadcrumbs. Yeah.
In Detroit.
That was cool. That was pretty cool.
That was way cool. That was like one of my highlights of my life right there, man. I mean, wow.
Okay. Highlights of your life.
It was a big one. That's a big deal, man. I mean, like the guy, we're hanging out with this guy. That's weird.
Well, it was cool. No, it really is. What I think, Ty, I'm gonna clarify or just embellish is that when we go to these shows, it's neat for us because we get to see what we're talking about every week in practice. I mean, we are in the rooms with. How was it when we were trying to talk to expedited air charter service companies in global auto logistics about like what we're doing? They were like, what are you doing?
Do what?
Yeah, like why would you even, if you like, these are, I mean, what they're doing, like 5-figure expedited air charter. This is insane money.
Yeah, what did we decide? It's like Jason Bourne.
Right. That's right.
They got these.
Seriously.
They call them curves.
We need to ship it.
Like, go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. That in fact, there's another job out there. Listen, guys, that's right. Here's a job.
Wow,
This job actually exists. There are expedited air charter logistics companies, and there were many.
There were.
Oh my God.
That was even my. Keep in mind, hold on, we got to set this up a little better. We're screwing it up.
All right.
This is supply chain. Okay, this is something I have no idea this exists.
Right,
This
supply
is supply chain. So I'm standing there, I'm talking to this one guy, Richard at Carter's. I don't even know what he does.
Carter Logistics.
Not a car hauler.
Oh.
This guy's a freight dude, right?
I got my cards here.
Look at this. Look.
Right. Who is this? I'm holding it back a little so you can't read it. Oh!
Who are you?
ProAct International. That was the CEO. Oh, ProTrans. Yeah, They were a gold sponsor. Oh man, 3 cards. Oh, wow. Who's this? XBL Logistics. Who's this? Who is that? Oh, Landstar. That's right. Oh, there's Carter Logistics. I knew I had it.
There he is, Carter.
Oh, Freight Verify. They were. AIAG. Oh man, I got 2 AIAG cards. I'm talking to AIAG tomorrow. Who else we got here? Oh, JB Hunt. JB Hunt. We were talking about JB Hunt 360. Oh, this Amports. I just heard from Gary Salvador. Who else we got here? Oh, Ben on the finished vehicle logistics panel. It just keeps going. So anyways.
So this is supply chain, okay?
Yeah,
this isn't really car hauling. There's car hauling involved in this, but it's how to get to the car hauling. What?
Candy said, "I'm real, so modest, LOL." I said, I guess I said I'm real, but I wasn't supposed to say that was too real.
Too real.
Okay, keep going. Oh, I'm sorry.
All I know is that talking to this Carter, Richard, and he says something, and finally it's like, oh, I know what. Oh, wow, it is tier 1, tier 2. Okay,
Oh,
so here, tier 1 is the finished product. So we met these these people, this company over there. They do steering wheel columns, right? So for a particular brand, we'll just say GM. How's that? So they get the finished product, which is the steering wheel column and the steering wheel, and they ship it to.
Right.
Go ahead.
They get the parts. This was in
Right.
Kalamazoo for trucks. They get the part. They bring all the parts in, which sometimes gets into expedited shipping because they're like, "Where's that freaking RJ49?" Right? We can't do anything without the RJ49. They bring in the parts. Giant warehouse employs how many hundreds of people, right?
Yeah.
And all they do is they assemble the steering wheel column, and then they ship that out.
Right.
And they are
They're tier 1.
they're tier 1.
All right. So everybody that's watching this is like, guys, come on! I just want to haul cars and I need a dispatcher, and load board, right?
Give me a
We'll get there.
dispatcher.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
So why are you talking about supply chain, right? Tier 2 are the people that give the parts and the pieces to the tier 1. Okay, so we're in Detroit. We're learning all kinds of crazy stuff. Believe me, it has something to do that will impact you and your car hauling company, right? So here's the way it goes. Next, we go into this massive conference room. I mean, I feel like I'm at a rock concert. What about you?
Yeah, that was awesome. That was a great venue.
Unreal.
Great setup.
So we're going, and they're starting to tell us what the forecast for the next, 5 years, Jay?
While you're talking, in fact, I brought up, you reminded me today to bring up some of my pictures.
Yeah,
and
let's
check this out. This is pretty cool. So here's some performance and outlook.
Light vehicle sales.
And I'm not going to have all the. Here's the thing is, I wasn't able to order everything. I'm not going to have everything you're thinking of. But
no. This is fine. Here's the point for the audience.
Yeah.
Here's the point.
Whoa.
New car sales are predicting. Analysts. I mean, these are some really smart cats here. Okay, way above Ty and Jay's pay grade.
Oh yeah.
And they're saying you're gonna probably see new car sales take a little bit of a dip. We don't know how big of a dip, but probably a dip. True. So when when we take a new car dip, what does that do for us in the used car space? Up.
Yeah.
New car sales go up, right?
Yes.
Used car sales go
and
up.
I knew that's what you meant, but yeah, exactly. The new car sales are going down, and the used car sales are going up.
So here we
go.
go.
And that is not going to change anytime soon.
No, not at all. So what do I tell everybody, Jay? I say, if you want to live with the classes, sell to the masses. How many used cars were sold in 2018? 40 million-ish.
Good, man. Nice memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many new cars were sold in 2018? 17 million-ish.
I think you're right. Yeah.
As long as Obama doesn't come back and do cash for clunkers, we've got a lot of used cars to mess around with now. Since, say, maybe 2009, 10, 11-ish, right? So looking at this, the next question I have is, who has all the used cars?
Tell us, Ty.
I don't know. I was waiting for the audience to pile in.
But no, it's really quiet. And actually, it's normal. Everything gets really quiet because there's so much information.
Yeah, you got to pay attention.
Yeah,
okay, so the used cars are going to go up. That means people that are in the transportation business, used car space, that's what I call it, are going to have plenty of work to do for a while. Okay, so if you're hauling used cars, you probably will be okay. But to be okay, what are you going to do to get that business, right?
Load board
and dispatch. I want a load board and I need a dispatcher quick.
He's kidding. By the way, he is kidding.
Yeah.
It's just that, and actually, he tends to get upset. I mean, but he's trying to keep it cool because he loves you guys.
Yeah.
Right? And that's no kidding, right? You
Well,
probably.
you've seen me, dude. I mean, you saw me when I got off the phone with that one
No,
guy
I
as soon
know.
as we landed. I
Yeah,
was messed up for
you were.
over an hour.
You're about to wrap yourself around a telephone pole. It was
That was
crazy.
the guy that I've coached,
Yeah,
and he knows
I know.
what. And so here's what it is. Okay, here's what it is. I I've given out my cards to as many people as I can. Nobody calls, but they call when I'm 6 states away. Well, why are you 6 states away? Well, because I got to make money. Valid point, right? Valid point.
We all do.
So I did some research today. I sent you an email, a link, and I've still okay. So we landed Tuesday last week. It's Tuesday this week, and this is still bugging me. Do you understand that? I mean, I'm still messed up about this. What is the problem? I think I may have figured it out. Can anybody tell me how many years it takes before a new startup actually generates real money?
So we're gonna do. We'll close this down.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I do. Oh yeah. Well, who can? Okay. Well, and by the way, I shared a Facebook post. You shared it with me. I had to close a bunch of windows because I don't think you saw, man. The screen was freaking out. Somebody's probably like, man, why is the screen freaking out?
Honey, what are they saying?
Honey, what are they talking about? And by the way, I want to say this too. I was showing some of the other slides. We learned, man, there was a lot of talk. I mean, autonomous vehicle talk, shared mobility.
So wait, these are all indicators, part of the new car sales declining, right?
Right. Because while these things get hammered out, this is actually a perfect time. While new car sales are down and they're hammering out, man, things are going very electric. I can't believe how much electric talk there was.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Ride share. That's one.
Yep.
Then we've got politics. You start get these guys talking about politics, and we're not talking Democrat or Republican. I mean, we're talking global politics, right? And these guys are talking about this one here. This one
Cyber threat. This crazy. This stuff's nuts.
That doesn't really have a lot to do with the new car sales going down.
But this is, I mean, in these, and that's my point is, yeah, my video meeting thing is going crazy. What's going to happen is at the end of this segment, I'm going to stop this video meeting and re-invite you, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm going to, but, I mean, the amount of information, that's why going back through these pictures of it, I'm like, oh my God, I forgot about all this stuff.
Yeah.
We're just,
it was overload.
Okay, here's your tier 1 stuff, right? Tier 1's dealing with OEMs.
Yeah.
This is a dealership of the future.
Oh yeah.
I was like, what? And Neo, that's a new car maker.
Yeah.
They're not. They're
autonomous and electric.
Right.
You got a picture of their car anywhere? They got a pretty wicked looking car.
I don't think I do, but they were talking about how dynamic their mobile app is going to be.
Yeah.
Which really gets into a lot of that Auto Intel Summit digital retailing stuff. Oh,
well,
and then,
no keys. Remember that? Yeah.
Here's a total. Let's go ahead and change it again. This was Honda talking about their yard management and their different plants. Oh my gosh! If you were a fleet, if you were a large fleet and you're trying to make a deal with Honda, yeah, this is the time. This is the place. This is like an infomercial. This is a miniature infomercial for why you should go to Automotive Logistics Global Detroit. Freight Verify talking about all the levels of, man, I can't wait to bring in some more Freight Verify. Oh, here's that little thing we toured afterwards. This is actually in the GM building.
Did you show them? Go back. Did you show them how high you got on that? We did a deal to see who could run up the.
No.
Remember when you were running up the top with your dress shoes on?
I'm not sharing that picture of me hanging from the top.
You didn't make it to the top.
What are you talking about? Oh, and there's my stuff in.
Oh gosh.
When Auto Transport Intel travels, it is a sight to see.
It is, for sure.
Okay. That was, man. That's just a bunch of little tastes right there. That was just like the appetizer.
Well, it is, but we're talking about new car sales are down. That's going to do something to used car sales. Used car sales are going to go up, right? So
they are up, and they're going to keep going up. Yeah.
We want to be a part of that. And where I was going with this was the guy. Okay, so the guy that I've coached, he calls, "Hey man, I've done what you told me to do." That nobody calls, but when they do call, when they do call, I'm 5-6 states away. Like, well, okay, why? Well, because I got to make money. Like, I get it. So I started. This is okay. Again, last Tuesday. Remember, Jay was with me, guys. I was on the phone as we're getting off the plane, and I'm having this conversation with this guy, and I'm hang up the phone, and I'm just about ready to go crazy. So today, still thinking about that one phone call, I go do a quick Google search. How long does it take for a startup to actually show a profit, make money? I didn't find an answer. But here's what I did find.
I don't think it will.
A lot of businesses are out of business pretty quick. Now, Shaggy still around here?
I think he might be. And that's what I was thinking of. Shaggy was sharing that info.
Well,
87,
right?
87%.
It's authorities, right? So I'm just talking about a startup business. It doesn't matter if you're cleaning toilets, mowing lawns, or selling apples.
And that's the Facebook post that I shared. But in automotive, it's going to be skewed even further because of maintenance and money.
Oh,
right?
Dude, this is a cash. I mean, it sucks the cash out of you, dude. I'm telling you. So we get these calls, and we're here to help. I'll do any. I promise, man. Ask Jay. I will do my best to help you get on the right track.
You are on the phone all the time. Actually, there were times your phone rang, and I'm thinking, why are you answering your phone?
Right. We're in the automotive logistics conference. Man.
We're about to talk to GM, and you're going to answer your phone.
Well, it's one of our fans, man. I mean, that's important.
I know it is. It's awesome.
It really is. And I'm trying to figure out what's the national average for a startup business to show profit, make money, break even. So that you start looking at all these statistics, and what you'll find is if you make it to 3 years, you did really something special.
Oh, 3 years, you succeeded.
You made it to 3 years.
According to statistics, yeah.
Yeah. So the failure rate, and then so this was even more. This is only one article I read. I didn't have a lot of time today, but this is one article I read. Starts breaking it down like the businesses that succeed and the businesses that fail. So your service business has a tendency to make it, but guess what was not in any of this? None of it. Trucking. No trucking.
I'm sure.
It wasn't in any of the categories, and they had all kinds of service categories. Trucking was not in there. That's because,
okay, well, number one, unfortunately, a lot of people do skip over trucking as a service business. And when we do think of trucking, we hear the same headlines. Driver shortage, ELD, right? And it's not even the whole business aspect. Oh, or mega carriers, right? Hey, who loves ELD? Who loves ELD?
Not I.
Mega carriers. To major corporations, ELD is a no-brainer because it's just the digitization of everything, right? Internet of everything, right? Internet. It is. But if you're an owner-operator, did you know that our friends at OIDA were in Washington, D.C. today talking to FMCSA? No joke.
Nope.
Yeah. There was actually and do you know what they were saying on behalf of owner operators? You're killing us with this thing. This thing's killing us. And you know why? Yeah. This is really interesting. This is the freight world. Do you know what they were saying? They were saying it was the freight shippers making them sit at the dock all day long while that thing's running because they're on duty, and then they have no time left to drive. And what happens in car hauling? Kind of the same thing. Where's the keys? Ooh. I don't know. I don't care. Where's the forklift driver? I don't know. Somewhere. Right?
Yeah. Well, I had to go pull my cars out of the auction.
Right, and you had to walk all over the place.
I had to pull 9 cars. That took 6 hours.
Okay. All right. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to give one more piece of info, and then we're going to go to break, and we're going to bring in Colin and see if Benny's available.
One more piece of information. Yeah,
No, well, that's the thing. I'm trying to get us because we got in the weeds.
Well, here's where we're going.
Okay.
And I'm really happy that we got BDC calling on and Benny on. These
too.
car dealer guys, and here's the funny thing: they didn't go to Detroit, but I got $1, and we haven't talked about it. This is all unscripted. But I got $1. There's going to be a lot of things that line up with what we're talking about. New car sales going down. What happens to used car sales? Who has the cars? How do we get those cars? Right. And here, I had another quick. How much time do I got? 1 minute?
Yeah, no, you're good. Keep going.
Okay, I got a phone call just before the show. I got a call. This guy, I've actually known him for a long time. He's been around the car hauling, but he's a young guy. Anyway, he's telling me, he's like, man, I've been watching you for years, and I've been watching this guy for years and this guy for years. And he says, I've actually worked for a couple of these other guys, and I've taken bits and pieces, and it's worked. So he was explaining to me how he's used the load board, Central Dispatch, to actually build his business. And we've got a couple of fans in here that I'm friends with. Your friend, you introduced me to them. They have used the load board to build the business, but they're still out shaking hands every day. Okay, now we can take it.
Yeah, no, good, and that's a good point. Exactly, is you never stop. And that's why the guys that are at the top of the pyramid, they go to these shows. They keep going back. Because it's never over. Here's
the thing. It's not easy to do when you're trying to build a business. Believe me, I know. I think I told everybody last week, I'm like, look, guys, I could have never done this when I was running my fleet with 20 trucks. No way. Now I've got a place in life where I can go do this stuff. And I'm telling you, it is amazing.
Well, and that's I'll tell you, that's one of the things too, is that since I clearly stated that, we're real people, we do really get it too. Everybody's got to work. Everybody's got to make money. Everybody's got limited time in the day. We have families, etc. So we get it. Listen, if you book on the load board day after day, I get it. You look great, Ty. I get it. All right. But what we're doing is we're trying to plant a seed. That's what makes this biblical. Sowing seeds, right? Let's try and sow some seeds and maybe get harvest next season. It's not going to grow right away. But it's important to come back to the.
Well, it's important to come back. And there's some kind of fallacy out there that we can just go buy a truck, go buy a trailer, and start making money. I don't know where it came from, but it bothers me really bad. If you want to go buy a truck and you want to buy a trailer and you want to haul cars and you think you're going to make money, please stop. Please. You're not going to do anything good for anybody, including yourself. I promise.
Ooh.
Unless you've got some connections, unless you've got something going on, please stop. Slow down. Go ahead.
And I want to say this because I see some great live chats, several live chats at the same time. By the way, Danny, thank you. Thanks for being a fan, and thanks for saying hello. It means a lot. Listen, if you've got a specific question, we really do want to hear it. We got to keep the show moving, so I don't want to get too far off track. I've seen some great questions though. Send me an email, will you? autotransportintel@gmail.com. Send me an email. If you will just want to talk to Ty, that's awesome. Ty, Ty, at ctsbusinesscoaching.com, 417-483-2764. His social security number is... I'm kidding. Okay, so we're going to go... here's what we're going to do. We're going to hear a word about Brian Riker and your DOT guy. Ty, I'm going to end this meeting, although we seem to be solid again. It was getting kind of freaky when I was showing those pictures, so maybe I just won't share my desktop for right now. And so, guys, we're going to be right back. Stick around. Thanks so much.
Hey guys, Jay at Auto Transport Intel here. Listen, don't wait until it's too late to get FMCSA and DOT compliant.
You need to take care of that right away. The best way to do that is to go visit my friend Brian Riker at Fleet Compliance Solutions. Now, you can go to Fleet Compliance Solutions LLC, or you can also visit him at yourdotguy.com. And here he's got services to help you out, whether you're a single owner operator or a fleet. You can contact him and ask him you can get US DOT compliant, applying for your authority right off, or if you're going to be audited, you're going to need help. And he helps you make sure that you navigate the DOT and be fully compliant when you're going through your safety audit. Also, he can help out with safety training, coaching, OSHA, environmental concerns, help you protect your CDL. You can visit him and his staff. Go to fleetcompliancesolutions.net or yourdotguy.com. Talk to Brian. If you need an expert witness, if you're going to end up in court over a problem, you're going to need some help, and he can help represent you. There are links here. Find out more about Fleet Compliance Solutions. And also, he's got articles and information. If you've got specific questions, you can contact him at 570-228-6210. And I highly encourage you to visit Fleet Compliance Solutions, LLC, yourdotguy.com. Tell him ATI sent you. Brian is a friend of the show. Thanks. All right, welcome back to Auto Transport Intel. If you are just joining us, you're here just in time because we now have with us, we have BDC Colin Thomas. Can you hear us okay?
Yes, sir, I can. Thank you for having me on.
Man, awesome. Dude, listen, thanks so much for taking the time to join us tonight. Do me a favor, please introduce yourself to the audience and let them know what you're here for and what you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously my name is Colin Thomas. I work with automotive dealerships, business development centers. And as you explained earlier, that means business development center or business development center. That's effectively, it's really what it is. It's a call center. It evolved in the automotive industry, but a lot of different industries utilize them today. They're basically profit centers. That's the 1,000-foot view of it. It's a profit center for dealerships. A lot of times, really what it is an appointment creation center for a dealership's sales floor to drive showroom traffic, gets more people into the dealership, capitalizing on the leads that they may be receiving on their websites and other third-party providers. As well as, other marketing initiatives on the radio, things like that. So what I do is I put that whole thing together, find the right people, install the right process, and get it making money for the dealership.
So, all right, I'm gonna ask you this: what's your pet peeve? What bugs you? Yeah.
What's my pet peeve?
Yeah.
I've got a lot of them, but I'll tell you.
Wait, hold on to the pet peeve. You've been in the car industry for a while, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, I'm I'll tell you, it's funny because you were showing the thread from, I think it's Driving Sales, that talked about what is a BDC. And that's been around. So it's funny because as soon as I saw that you were showing that, I was like, I know that thread. One of my pet peeves is that we're still talking about what a BDC is supposed to do. That I went back literally right now because I didn't know you were going to show that. And
that's awesome.
That question was asked on August 2nd, 2009, over 10 years ago. And so over 10 years ago, after 10 years, we're still seeing, uncertainty as to what this department is supposed to do for a dealership. And at the end of the day, it's supposed to drive showroom traffic, help sell more cars. It's very simple. But you have people that just don't understand really what this department is supposed to do, how to put it together. And the truth of the matter is that it's very different than your sales floor. And so it is very different. And that's kind of where I come in to bridge the gap for a dealer that wants to be in the 21st century, wants to have this thing called a BDC in-house, but maybe they just don't know about how to, actually execute it, how to kickstart it off. So, I guess one of my pet peeves, if not my biggest pet peeve, is that there's a big misconception about what a BDC is after, 10 years. Just that thread alone is still getting, people going back and forth. Oh, a BDC is supposed to do this, BDC is supposed to do that.
I wanna jump in for a second. I want to set the stage again for a second because it is so interesting how, again, this is a car hauling show. Right now, somebody is thinking, I thought this was a car hauling show, and it is. And what I notice is one could argue that at the hub of the wheel is the OEM. No, it's the dealer.
Right.
Where do all the cars get crammed to? The dealership. where do all the people looking to buy cars go? The dealership. Where are there millions of cars sitting right now? At the dealership. And who does the auction hope to sell to? The dealership. The cars are at the dealership. So if you're in car hauling business and you're just listen, Jay, I don't care about dealers. I want dispatchers and load boards. Okay. But
right.
That's not where the cars are.
Right. So we always talk about the mic. We've got the market, the industry, the customer, and the competition. So the customer is, to me, pretty important. And that's why we've got guys like you, Colin, and thank you so much for coming on. This is amazing. Thank you.
Thanks,
but that's why we've got guys like you here, is to tell us different aspects, different parts of the dealership that as a carrier, I think we should know. What I try to encourage people to do is to come alongside that, joint partner, right? JV, whatever you want to call it, a joint venture. The more I know about you, the more I can hopefully help you, at least in this one small part, right? So back to BDC. It's funny because I heard a guy one time, he said, well, I think it stands for Business Development in the Community.
Yeah,
it works.
For sure.
Huh?
I started a thread at one point on LinkedIn that talked about all the different variations of the acronyms, or spin-offs really, of BDC. And there's a lot of them. There's Customer Care Center. This department probably has 300 verifiable names that, different dealerships have evolved over the years. It really isn't necessarily so much about what's on the name on the door. The departmental name is that are the activities that are happening in that department.
And
so go ahead,
well,
Jeff.
at the core of the BDC, the purpose is to make sure that we're not missing out on any potential leads. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of dealerships, they struggle to field the lowest of the low-hanging fruit. The people that are just raising their hands and asking to get more information about a vehicle. I mystery shop dealerships all the time, and it's shocking to me. But no joke, I could shop 5 dealerships, and 2 or 3 of them might not pick up the phone within 4 or 5 hours to contact a customer that said, I'm interested in buying this car. Here's my name, email address, and phone number. Sometimes it's not unheard of that you'll have a dealer that won't actually pick up the phone and engage with a customer that's, supplied their information. And that's always disappointing to see. These departments sometimes over the years do move away from what they were designed to do, which is develop business, and they become reactive business centers, where unfortunately sometimes they're more order taking and they're just kind of fielding, like I said, that low hanging fruit. And that's why it's really important to make sure that your team has got training, to make sure that you're hiring the right people, to make sure that you're paying them for the right activities, you're compensating them for the right activities, you're not compensating them for the wrong activities. Talking about compensation, I've seen a lot of dealers that'll set up compensation plans that really de-incentivize the sales floor from working in harmony with the BDC, meaning that they might charge back a salesperson for a car that they delivered as a result of a BDC appointment. So the BDC agent or rep sets an appointment at 2:45. The customer comes in, buys a car. Instead of that salesperson making his normal, whatever it is, $150 mini or whatever it is, he might only make $100. That's not unheard of. There's a million ways that this can be set up for success. There's a million ways that it can be set up for failure. And that's, again, kind of where I come in, is making sure that the people, the process, the compensation, all the different components of it work in harmony with the sales floor, with the management, so that we're selling more cars and we're not just capitalizing on the low-hanging fruit.
Well, by the way, and Candy points something out. It takes a special kind of person to deal with the tire kickers, the car dealers, right? You know who those people are in car hauling?
Oh, yeah.
They're called brokers.
Yeah.
it's really interesting to me. We have in car hauling, we have a subset of people that are really good at getting the business and then taking their cut and getting the car to the car hauler, and that group is called brokers. Yeah.
Well, I find interesting, you said something that I thought was cool, is you're saying that the sales floor and the BDC are two different deals. Is that what you're saying? But the objective is to bring them together to be one.
Oh, me. I want to say this. I'm telling you, keep making me think of Automotive Intelligence Summit, where they're talking about digital retailing strategies. These are, and as we move into the future, customers want to be able to go to the website, put in some information, and they're already like, I think I want a white Honda, a yellow Honda, I want fire breathing, I want ice cream popsicles, and then when they walk into the dealership, they already know that we've already had the popsicle conversation.
Right.
And that's what a BDC would be there for, that handoff, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Popsicles.
That makes a lot of sense, because that is what we learned at Auto Intelligence.
They were all over it. Like, do not, and if you don't, if like they walk in the door and they're like, yeah, I was just talking to somebody about popsicles, and you go, what? They're like, okay, all right, where's that Carvana app? I'm going to CarMax.
These things like these things, Carvana, Jay, have I believe in some to some degree evolved, because the consumer experience has been lacking for years. I mean, we've heard the customers that generally are not maintaining a whole lot of loyalty to car OEMs, let alone dealerships anymore, and so they want a better experience. They need a better experience, and so that's why Carvana, it's not about these car vending machines. That's just opening up people's eyes to, unfortunately, a different way of buying a car, which doesn't have to suck, and it shouldn't suck. But a lot of times the experience does feel disjointed, and it is bumpy. And so that business development center does need to work seamlessly, harmoniously with that, sales floor, to make sure that the customer has a great experience when they come in, and it's not just this unnecessary part of the equation. The customer doesn't, I hear dealers, talk about their existing BDCs sometimes, and they'll say that, we feel like the BDC is just this unnecessary bump in the road to the customer, and a lot of times that's a result of poor training.
You just made me think. What if part of this, we stop with the, when you drive by the dealership and the guy like runs out the door and he's standing on the curb and he's like, oh, okay, I guess you're driving by. But I'll get the next one. Like, can we stop with that already? Like, what if there was like a clown juggling balls, right, or something? I don't know, handing out cotton candy.
The industry is really changing, and I think, Jay, those people that are standing around waiting at the glass pane, waiting for that customer to drive up, those people are, they're really becoming less relevant.
Good.
They're a fixture. I know, they're a fixture of every dealership across the country. It's uncomfortable for the customer when they come up and they're walking through a group of 12 sales reps that are just standing around. They're not doing they're not generating business. A lot of, I believe, dealers are going to start shifting towards a more a heavier business development dealership that's entirely focused on business development, and I think dealers would be very wise today to begin onboarding people with the expectation that they encompass some of the responsibility of a BDC agent. See, there's no real legitimate reason. If we're just being honest, there's no reason that a dealer couldn't just say to hell with this BDC concept. And that's what they go back and forth with this every year or 2-3 years. They build a BDC, they tear it apart, and the cycle continues, and it costs them millions of dollars every time they do this. But there's no reason, and we have BDCs to make up. We've explained it away. Salespeople either won't or they can't make the follow-up phone calls, or we don't hold them accountable to that. The word tracks and all this stuff. Making notes, utilizing our CRM, our database to kind of document the customer journey. So we hire these BDC agents. But in theory, there's no legitimate reason that we couldn't hire people, onboard people with the expectation as a sales representative that you're going to be a business development representative, and this is part of the job. And but we don't hold them. We don't look for that in salespeople. And honestly, I mean, I think that there is, to a certain degree, there are people that shine in BDC and people that shine on the floor. So look, there's pros and cons to having a BDC, but if you're a medium to high volume dealership and you don't have your salespeople on point, with your follow-up, with your word track, making the business development activities above and beyond the low-hanging fruit, people calling your dealership, inquiring about a vehicle, submitting a lead, then you're probably going to be looking at needing a business development center, or requiring that anybody that you onboard into your organization as a sales rep, they start to take on some of these responsibilities.
Well, and I see Candy making some comments in the YouTube live chat, and I think what we're getting at is that, I think you would say that, well, is that bringing in and building a BDC, what you really want to do is you don't want it to be a separate department or a separate thought. It should be part of the way you start to do things differently, right? In fact, I was thinking, if you're a car hauler and you want to get in, I know, it takes a special breed to get into the dealership, fine. What if you could go into the dealership, Ty, who do you ask for?
I always ask for who buys cars or who's in charge of inventory.
Right. Who's about inventory manager?
Inventory or buyer?
Inventory or buyer. Okay, so you're a car hauler. You're nervous, man. Your palms are all sweaty, and you got grease everywhere. You're like, man, this is never going to work. But you go ahead and park the car, and you go up, and the guy jumps out. Hey, you want to buy a car? And you say, no, but I'd love to talk to your inventory manager. The guy's like, whoa, that's serious talk there, buddy.
Big words.
Right? And when you do get that guy in front of you and you seize the opportunity, just take your business card and say, here, man, next car you get, text me. Your make, model, where it is. I'm your car hauler. You have a nice day.
Well, I usually add quite a few more questions to that.
The guy's like, no, don't leave. That was crazy good.
Well, one thing, when I first met Colin, we had a conversation, Colin, you were telling me about an example of a dealership that you had gone in and taken a look at their BDC and done some work, and what was some of the results of that? Do you remember?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I've worked with dealers all over the country. I've worked with dealers in Alaska. I've worked with dealers in 25 states. My claim to fame is that I took a dealership that was selling 260 cars to well over 400. Obviously, everybody's going to see different results. But that was an extraordinary, high volume, progressive dealer that was willing to invest in doing things right, invest in the right number of people, the right lead to rep ratio, things like that. With all that said, when you go into a dealership that really doesn't have a BDC, it's hard to not create some success story there, because look, these people that are raising their hands and they're out shopping for a vehicle, when a customer, it's important to look at like how this really works. When a customer raises their hand and submits a lead on some of these websites, that hand raiser lead might go to 3, 4, 5 different dealerships. So it really becomes, a race against the clock. Are you timely in contacting that customer? Is the dialogue, the things that are, said, are you addressing the customer's needs? Is it a, robotic, or a, is it thoughtful in regards to what the customer was, they may have asked a question about the vehicle, about the purchase experience, these types of things. So you have to have people that are able and ready to engage these customers quickly. I'm talking about in 3 minutes or less. And sadly, in mystery shop just about any dealership in the country, and you're going to find some really, really disappointing numbers as far as your response times. As a dealer, if there are dealers watching, I would definitely recommend that you mystery shop your own process.
Mystery shop. Tell us more. Mystery shop.
Yeah, mystery shop your own process with a phone number that's not in your CRM, with an email address that's not in your CRM. what you're looking for, the key thresholds that I would say that you're really looking for is, the first one that I look for is, how long does it take a salesperson or a BDC agent to pick up the phone and call somebody that lists their phone number after they've raised their hand and said, I'm interested in this vehicle, here's my information. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 hours that day, did they ever pick up the phone? Also, of course, what kind of email correspondence do we have? What do those templates look like?
Oh, you were talking about that.
Yeah.
Are there misspellings or right?
Are there typos? Are there formatting issues? I mean, we see this all the time.
Has anybody read this thing? Right.
Often they don't. These templates get plugged in sometimes, and nobody ever looks at it. And it's honestly, it's heartbreaking for me to see that. And then, believe it or not, many dealerships won't take action. And this is the customer experience. They may have raised their hand, said, I'm interested in buying the vehicle, served up their phone number, not got a phone call from that dealership, received some kind of, poor email with spelling and grammatical, maybe typographical or, whatever errors, when their competition, if it was maybe submitted through a third-party website like TrueCar or another shotgun type, website that sends that lead out to multiple dealerships, you're now in a position where your competition is probably going to beat you to the punch with response time, with customer engagement. It becomes really whose BDC is best trained, whose process is put together the best, who has the best engagement on the phone, through text, through email. And if it's not you, unless that customer was already going to walk in the door, they're probably not going to buy from you. And then that becomes a customer. If we're already going to buy from you anyway, then that's not really business development, and that's what the whole department is.
And here's another thing talked about at Automotive Intelligence Summit. Okay, Cherokee Media Group, usedcarweek.biz. One of the things talked about was, not only did you lose that sale, but that customer may now associate a negative experience with the entire brand. What? You put that, like, what? Like, that's really bad. Like, that guy's like, okay, well, I hate Chevy. Like, okay, that's great. Right? So this I mean, it's critical. And this same thing, I'm sorry, but the same thing applies to a service provider, car hauling business, whatever. Is that one negative experience, you just lost like business forever.
I want to just step in real quick. I want the audience to understand something here. What some people could be like, oh, please stop. Okay, guys, why we have Colin here is because Colin actually has created a business that provides a living for him and his family and maybe some employees. And what he does, Colin does, is he helps car dealers sell more cars. So that translates to the more cars that Colin can have a car dealer sell is more cars for us to transport.
And not to mention, this is why you were talking about new car sales and used car sales. This is becoming more and more important all the time, because the new car sales, if you think you're just going to get in a Stinger and move cars all day long, yeah, maybe, but that capacity is dropping.
On the new cars, for sure. Have you seen any of that or heard any of that, Colin? What we've been talking about?
That new cars have
new car sales looking a little bleak here coming up next year or two.
Yeah, I've heard some speculation about that. I mean, I focus on working really
bleak. I wouldn't say bleak. Yeah. I mean,
I focus my energies on really working with the I don't know what it is, the 5%, the minority progressive dealer that understands that the majority, if not all of his competition, is failing miserably at response times, at the basics. Right. I was just reading the comments, and somebody said, millennials are we're not catering to millennials, but I mean, the most we're so.
We heard that too. We're hearing that too. We're not catering to millennials. We heard that in Detroit.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the fact that we're evolving, I mean, that you can do this new cool stuff from your phone. And I think that's going to tie into our dealership experience. It already is with a lot of dealers. You can do a lot of things now. I mean, dealers are starting to catch up to, the Carvanas and stuff like that and adopt. A lot of dealers are getting on this, home delivery program and all this. But at the end of the day, what you can't recreate is experience. And that's what's sorely lacking. It's the basic customer experience that any consumer is looking for when they purchase the second largest purchase of their life. And so, we can try to create all these toys, and there's a lot of vendors that have a lot of toys and a lot of solutions, but it always frustrates me. Probably my biggest pet peeve is that dealers are so eager to buy toys and widgets and all that stuff when you mystery shop their process, and people that are begging to buy a car aren't being contacted ever. And it's just like, look, you're paying for this BDC, or you don't have a BDC, you need one. Dealers generally don't want to put this together because they look at it as an expense. And usually for a couple months, it's going to be an expense. It's going to feel like an expense because there's always, a learning curve and adjustment period when you do something that's vastly different that, impacts pretty much the whole sales portion of your business. But whether you go with the traditional BDC model or you do a hybrid or something like that, what's really important is that the dealership has a business development mentality. It's not about the room. A lot of people talk about BDC and they're talking about, BDC is a room. Business Development Center is a call center. But business development mentality is something that any dealership can adopt with the right expectations, accountability, and redundancy. And those are things that I really, I think set me apart from a lot of the other people that are out there, because I look to set my clients up for success, not needing to rely on somebody like me or another big box training coaching company to come in month after month, year after year, to keep onboarding, hire, training, and recruiting, because the dealer doesn't want or doesn't know how to do it themselves.
Dude,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it.
No, it's BDC impossible. You just made me think, like Restaurant Impossible, right?
That's actually pretty much, when people ask me what I do,
BDC
along with
Impossible.
like 18 other titles, that's one of the titles that I say, hey, have you ever seen Restaurant Impossible or Bar Rest?
My job is to connect the dealer, the auction, and the carrier. So everything that he just said that sounds bizarre to a carrier, I'm going to interpret what he said. The dealer experience for the carrier is crucial. It's critical, right? So for the carrier, he needs to provide an experience for his customer, being the dealer who's raising his hand. Now, people don't believe me, but the dealer will tell you, I've used the same guy for 20 years, go away. I don't need another carrier, right? We use the same guy all the time. It works fine. Leave me alone. What I'm trying to tell people is that that may very well be true, but is he having the best experience, right? And so it's, as a carrier, how do we provide an experience for our customer, our dealer? So we're talking the same language, right? And I know maybe for you, you're like, well, you guys are car haulers. What are you talking about? For the audience, though, they should kind of get what we're saying here a little bit, meaning.
Well, they are. They're in the live chat. I'm seeing it. I'm communicating with the live chat right now. Yeah, it's happening.
And I think that's how we're trying to. It's like one of these. Oh, Ty, man, you're killing me with all these big ideas, right? No, if we understand what you're saying, why would we not want to provide that same experience for our customer? Who's our customer? So the dealer or the auction, one or the other. So I'm telling you. Go ahead.
How ironic. Everybody's missing their leads, right? Or dropping their leads, right?
I think so.
And I'll tell you, I want to say this. David, check it out. In the YouTube live chat, David says, do any of you dispatch have your own cars, or are you central dispatch? Basically, asking the question. The thing is, it's like a shell game. The thing is, there must be more than just central dispatch and cars posted. Somebody's got this customer. Where's the customer? Where's the customer? Right? Somebody has it. And I mean, you know, here's the thing. I want to say this. I want to back up. All right. Whoa. Let's take it easy. Let's get some ELD Kool-Aid. Slow it down a little bit. Okay. I should start telling everybody when they come on the show that they need to have Kool-Aid somewhere.
No, I've got my Propel.
Oh,
I brought my Propel and my Gatorade Zero.
Perfect. Everybody's got their ELD Kool-Aid.
What's the deal with the Gatorade or the Kool-Aid? Because that's like your trademark. I watched a few of your episodes.
It's my thing. That's right. It's totally my thing. Yeah, ELD Kool-Aid. I'm way into it because you know why? You know why I drink the ELD Kool-Aid? Because that way I don't get frustrated with the ELD. I don't throw that thing across the room. So I drink the Kool-Aid. Because anywhere you work, right, they want you to drink the Kool-Aid. Anything you don't like, just drink the Kool-Aid. So I just,
Kool-Aid.
You know what? I said, okay, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and drink the Kool-Aid.
It's good stuff.
And when I drink the proverbial Kool-Aid, in this case, actual Kool-Aid, I feel better. I feel calm. Serenity now.
Where were you going?
What was I even talking about? I started drinking. Start drinking. That's why you drink the Kool-Aid. You can sit in traffic, and the cam and the whole office is watching you on the dashboard camera, and you're sitting there in traffic, balancing on the guardrail. What does this have to do with what? So the thing is that I do want to clarify is that I do know that load boards can help you stay loaded, but what we're talking about is number one, who's the customer. Build a business, and you can use load boards and whatnot to fill in. You're going to always have empty spaces. You're not, every time you pull into the dealer texts you, although he's going to fill you up sometimes, but if you've got that running lane, he may not have you full every time. Then again, he might. And I know, like, Ty's going to slap me. No, seriously. I say this because everything has its place. Brokers, load boards, dispatchers, insurance agents. Now everything has its place. It really does. But especially the dealership. It is so weird that we talk about the dealership. I know I went 3 years as a dispatcher and we never talked about the dealership.
Well, so here's what I'm trying to say. So I tell guys, I said, go in and ask who's in charge of inventory, who buys cars. So this is why we have Colin on here, because you don't walk in and just say, here's my card. Run, right? Wait a minute. Slow down. Want to blow a guy's mind, walk in as a carrier. Hey, where do you buy cars? Who do you buy cars from? What kind of BDC program do you have?
Whoa. Who is this guy? BDC what?
Are you a car hauler?
You're looking for CBD,
what? Right?
Nope.
You go to the store down the street, buddy. We don't do CBD. We do PCH.
So anyways, it's a family show.
This is why we've got a guy like this on the show. I'm telling you, I promise you, you're learning something about the dealership. You've got one more thing to talk about that I promise you your competition probably doesn't know this guy and probably doesn't know what this guy's talking about. Now you do. Now when you walk in, hey, do you buy cars? Yeah, where do you buy them? How many cars do you sell them on? Used, new? How many do you sell? Okay, this is stuff you want to know too, right, Colin?
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. How many cars do you sell? I want to know how many cars that guy sells because I may not want to do business with him if he doesn't have enough volume.
Hey, look, Car Shipper just threw it down. Wait for it. Okay, Joe at Car Shipper just said dealerships are turning to load boards to access capacity. Right? So if a dealership is turning to a load board, it means there's an opportunity for a car hauler relationship. Yes. And that's what we're talking about. That's why we keep beating this horse. I need like horse blood over here. I've been beating the horse blood.
I use the load board to go find the dealer that's posting his cars on Central Dispatch and tell him he doesn't need to do that. That's why I use the load board, but whatever.
Well, and yeah, no, and seriously, that's what's so interesting. You'll find dealers posting loads on Central Dispatch, and you'll find carriers booking those loads without trying to create a relationship. And you know how I know that? Man, all right, here we go. Here I come to confession. I confess, I was a dispatcher. I booked loads on the load board. I talked to dealers on behalf of carriers, and I didn't even try to set up a relationship. I mean, that's just dumb.
You need a BDC.
I know. Well, I needed a little bit of intel. I didn't know. Well,
Colin, what else you got for us, man? Sorry, we kind of got excited.
No, you're good. I really, I've absorbed some content from you guys. I think it's great what you're doing. I love the fact that, you have this. I'm going to continue to watch your shows.
Thank you.
Really, I'm very passionate about, plugging the right people in, getting the right training. And honestly, that's another good point. We a lot of times drop the ball with how we select and onboard these people into our organization. I think you were showing one of the articles that I wrote not too long ago about why we suck at retention, at hanging on to our team members in this part of the business. And I think a lot of it goes back to the fact that oftentimes we hire the wrong people. I mean, 180 degrees, we do this onboarding and recruiting thing. A lot of times we're looking for people that have experience, but we know as an industry, we don't train. And if we do train this part of the dealership, we don't necessarily historically train them the right way. So then what we have is we have a whole bunch of dealers that are looking for experienced BDC people, experienced reps, experienced managers that a lot of times are failing BDC reps. And I watch these reps bounce from store to store and not produce what really they could be and should be producing because there's not accountability, there's not transparency, and the expectations either aren't there or aren't in line with what they should be. So a lot of times we drop the ball at the very infancy of this whole thing. We just hire the wrong people. And then if they're lucky, they get bad training. I have a lot of unique ways that I, onboard people. I train, I do recruiting for both BDC and sales. A lot of times when I'm, doing BDC recruiting, I'll filter salespeople through that process. But I have a pretty unique way of that I, when I'm out at a dealership doing recruiting, a lot of times when I'm at a hotel or I'm out at dinner or something like that, and I just get great service. I came up with this great idea a while back. I made up some business cards myself. And what I'll do, this cost me $10. I go to Vistaprint and I have a Google Voice number set up. Somebody's going to steal my idea and screw me over on the job part of the vanity phone number. But I'll get a local vanity phone number in their market. And this is my sample. You can call this and kind of see how I do this. But if I get some great service, my server, not waitress, because that's not PR, I guess, anymore. My server gives me some great service. I'll give them a tip, and then with their tip, I'll leave them this, or I'll hand them this, and I'll say, I just want to thank you for your service. And I ask them, to give me a phone call. And what I have them do, I instruct them on the voicemail to leave me a great message. And I'm looking for people when I like to do recruiting a couple ways. I'll have, I don't worry about resumes and stuff like that. These are phone people. These are people that are going to interact with 100, 200 people a day on the phone. And so I'm looking for great phone presence. And so why do the brain damage of going through resumes and stuff like that? It makes no sense. When you could have them audition on a 30-second voicemail, you leave a compelling outgoing message. Thanks so much for calling about the BDC. You don't say BDC, but the customer care position. We're really excited that you were interested in the opportunity with us. And in your best phone voice, we'd like you to leave a compelling message to let us know how you feel that you'd be a great fit for this position. Then, at the end of the week, you listen to 100 voicemails, and it's really easy to figure out who the rock stars are and who the people that you actually want to come in and visit with you, to sit down and talk to about calling the customers that have raised their hand and said, hey, I want to make the second largest purchase of my lifetime at your dealer.
Great.
It is really good. You know, I want to say this too, is that, and this is why Jason Harris, hey, what's up, Jason Harris? This is why Jason Harris makes content everywhere he goes. Because like you're talking about, you could be at dinner and you're still thinking business, and you're recognizing aspects of what other people are doing that would make sense and you could apply to your own business. This is why reality shows exist, because in reality, you can, if you're focused on reality, everywhere you go, use aspects of that reality to improve your reality. I know I'm reaching a little bit, but seriously, that's why, like, I'll watch the History Channel. Suddenly, I'm watching a show about the Egyptians, and I'm like, that's it. Okay, well, that's not true, but you know what I'm saying. Is that you can get these pieces, these nuggets of knowledge are all over the place. Easter eggs.
Yep. Easter eggs. We were talking about that the other day.
We were talking about Easter eggs.
Yep.
Wow. Well, so again, I think that, that just for the audience, that's why I like to have guys like you on, is because it really, there is a direct relationship if you're paying attention. You know, I talk, because of Jay's show, Colin, I talk to a lot of guys every day that are either wanting to get into the business or in it and maybe need some help, don't know what they're doing.
And as you said that, this one's for you, Ty. Michael on Facebook says, what should someone do before calling Ty to get started as a broker or dispatcher moving cars? What are the preliminary things Ty would expect accomplished before calling him? It's a good question. What can someone do as research before calling you?
Go talk to car dealers.
Even a dispatcher or broker?
Well, that's the one though. You'll set my hair on fire. Watch, I'll start turning red. You want to be a broker? You better be able to go talk to people. So go start talking to people. If you want to haul cars and you want to be a broker, you're a glorified sales rep is what you are. And you better be able to sell not only a car transportation, you got to sell the carrier. Get these guys to do something. Now try that on. And I've got a couple of guys that I've coached. Go hang out in the transport parking lot for a day and tell me how that goes.
I'll tell you what. So Ty is giving you his information. Go talk to dealers, maybe talk to carriers. And I'm going to say, watch this show nonstop. Because this is the 103rd live episode, and these are 2-hour shows. And if you start right now, you might be able to finish all 102 past 2-hour episodes. What is that, 200 and something hours? And then if you don't even sleep, maybe you can do it in 2 weeks. And you'll be going crazy for sure if you do this. But the point is that, and the reason I say this, it's gratuitous and it's shameful, but I'm doing it anyways. I will say this is that because we have talked about so much different stuff. And this is the automotive industry is gigantic. So talk to people and watch this show. There is so much stuff because, I mean, I don't think one show has been repetitive of a previous show. Not exactly.
Well, so here's a good one. Watch. We've got Colin, BDC. We've had Jason Harris. I was thinking about this today, Jay. Jason Harris, digital marketing guy.
Right.
We've had, remember C4, Ken Clark?
I know. That was great. In fact, I need to finish. I'm gonna finish my video edit that Ken. Oh no, I did Auto Hauler Auto Advice. Check that video out. Auto Hauler Auto Advisor, car dealer something. Auto Hauler car dealer advice.
We're having all these, anybody that has anything to do with cars, and you said this in the beginning of the show, Jay. It's all about the dealer, right? We're kind of changing our tune. I used to say it's all about the car. It's all about the dealer. And here's the beautiful thing. You look at a dealer. He's got a carrier guy coming after him, a BDC guy wanting to help him. He's got the digital marketing guy wanting to help him. He's got F&I, fixed ops. He's got, there's a lot of people. Jay, the video. Remember the video, Ford, the video?
Oh, I know, right? Oh, wow. Okay, so I want to say this. Listen, if you're just joining this show, we are ending soon, and you can go back and watch from the beginning. That's what Deidre joined in Facebook. She's going to go back and watch from the beginning. Listen, F&I, if you don't know what F&I is, right, that's the service, right?
Finance, the finance department.
I'm sorry, and I'm in.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
Fixed up.
This is a test?
Service is called what? What's that?
Fixed up.
Fixed ops. Thank you. All right. Fixed ops is the service department. F&I, man, you got to take over. I think I'm tired.
Yeah, fixed ops, parts and service. F&I is the guys that do it. I mean, there's so many little parts of this dealership, right? So when you go in to talk to a dealer, you don't just go in and say, I transport cars. That ain't going to get you nowhere, man. You're going to wet your pants, throw your card, and run.
Right. Like Will Ferrell just throwing a card and running. It could happen. It could, and actually, that's why we're working so hard on this. Nobody walks into a grocery store and freaks out, right? Hi, can I help you? That doesn't happen. You say, yeah, where are the eggs, lady? Well, you could do the same at a dealer if you were comfortable at a dealership, which is why I see telling a dispatcher or broker to walk into a dealership and start talking, it's a gutsy move, but it could work.
Well, if you're going to be a broker, I mean, even Shaggy and Freight will tell you, it's about being able to sell. It's about relationship. Who do you know? What do you know? Right? I mean, it mowing yards, cleaning toilets, whatever it is you're doing, you really need to know who your customer is, what your customer wants, what your customer's up against, how your customer thinks every day. I'm telling you, car dealers, call and tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Car dealers want to sell cars.
Steven tells us, okay, and this is
all
good.
they want to do.
Hey, Steven is in the YouTube live chat, and he's disagreeing with us, and that's good. That's fine. At OEM dealerships, you have to talk to the used car manager for transport. The used car manager. I don't see how OEM BDC has anything to do with transport. BDC mainly used for fix op and sales customers. Steven definitely sounds like he knows what he's talking about. So let's explain to Steven, why are we talking about BDC on a car hauling channel?
We're talking about BDC on a car hauling channel because 90% of every call I get is somebody that wants a dispatcher and a load board, and they're wanting to own their own business. Okay, this doesn't make sense to me. That's why we're talking about this, because if you want to start and own your own business, you might want to know some things about it. And a load board and a dispatch isn't going to get you to a place where you want to, if you want to build a fleet, if you want to be one guy and you want to drive around, perfect. It'll work out great, I swear. If you want to build a business, if you want to build a fleet, and you want to leave something for your kids when you're dead and gone, here's what you need to know. You need to know how to talk to a car dealer, right? So, Steven, it sounds like you already know what all this is, so you can go fast forward or go watch a different show for a minute.
Okay,
but I'm telling you.
And he's welcome here, but I want to say I like your fire because here's the thing. Colin is saying the exact same thing to the dealership. Listen, quit telling me that your sales are down, that you don't have good people, that you don't have good tools, and that you don't have any good customers. You are missing out on leads, buddy. So you, Ty, and you, Colin, are literally saying the same type of message in industries that actually cross over into each other. Steven, I really do believe that there's a purpose here. But I mean, I really do appreciate the live chat, and I'm glad you tuned in, and I hope you continue to tune in. I really do.
If it's something that, if you don't know what we're talking about, this is good information, because at some point, like I said, you're going to have to touch a dealer one way or another. You will come in contact with a car dealer if you're hauling cars. I'm pretty sure about that, right?
In fact, I don't think you. That would be an interesting one. See if you can avoid a dealer.
POV, relocation, that's about it. Because you even got a dealer to haul salvage, junk.
Love this experiment. Go a week without seeing a dealership, interacting with a dealer. Let us know how that goes. I love that idea. Yeah, go with people that just, want you to work around their hair appointment, or salvage cars that have no wheels. Do repo all week.
So here's what I'm saying. Okay, watch this. So Steven, you know BDC, fixed ops, F&I. You got it. Good. Go talk to your car dealer, ask him how their BDC is going, and tell him you just found a guy named Colin that really knows all about BDC. Would you like his card or his number? Colin, you got a card and a number to throw up here?
Absolutely. People can contact me one of a few different ways. You can call me.
Yeah.
My phone number is 708-733-5463. Spells out 708 Redline. You can email me. My email address is redlineautomotivemarketing@gmail.com. You can find me on LinkedIn. I'm probably the most vocal BDC person on LinkedIn. All you have to do is type in BDC and search up content. You're going to find something that I wrote. I'm also the host of the nation's only ongoing BDC podcast. It's available on Android and iOS. All you have to do in your however you listen to podcasts is search BDC. You'll find my podcast, but it's called Modern Dealer Business Development. We've got, we're up to episode 66, I think now. Topics covering everything from how do you compensate these people, how do you hire them, training, everything in between. Understanding that there's a lot of dealers out there and not every one of them is going to either, feel that they can afford or want to bring me in. I like to put content out there. And Jay, that's kind of why I really, I respect what you're doing. I spent a bit of time, watching your videos last night, and I spent about 2 hours watching your videos, and it really opened my eyes up to. I'm serious.
Thank you. It's a long time.
No, it is, but and I didn't expect to do that, but you put a lot of content out there. You put yourself out there, and I'm a big fan of people that put content out there for people to see what they're about. You're walking the walk. You're not just talking.
Well, and I appreciate that. You know what I like too is I like it when people because this is what I try to do when people get into a rhythm with the media. It's like anything else, everything has a rhythm. We sleep at night. We eat breakfast. We're creatures of habit. So I try to treat media the same way. That's why I go live on Tuesday nights. And during the week, do other things, and I try to create a rhythm where we can all kind of get in sync in a rhythm, and because that rhythm, just like in meditation, once you get into the meditation, you are ready to receive the message, right? And so I try. This church is always on Sunday, you get into a rhythm, and I can see that you've developed a rhythm. And you're working that rhythm, and that's why I really am glad to have you on the show, that you took the time and that you're checking the show out. And I want to see if we can develop a relationship. So over time, we're doing a show. We're on show like 359, and we're referencing you again. I'd love to do that. So I just really appreciate it. It's awesome.
I'm all about it. Jay and Ty, thank you for having me on.
Thank you, man. Awesome. And do me a favor. If anybody out there, if you have a question, please get a hold of Colin. Or if you can't get a hold of Colin, autotransportintel@gmail.com. Colin, make sure that I've got your email address, redlineautomotivemarketing@gmail.com, 708-733-5463. Right? Okay, good.
Got it.
It'll be in the description of the video, man. I really, really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.
Okay,
thanks, Jay.
Have a good night, you guys. Peace out, both of you.
Bye.
Peace. Thank you. All right, and we have ended the meeting. Boom. Okay, man, that was awesome. Let's go back to the main screen here. Let's go ahead and change. I know it gets a little. It gets like this. The show doesn't end very. It's kind of a clunky landing on the aircraft carrier, but we'll get the sucker down. All right, there we go. Thank you guys so much for joining and participating in another Tuesday night show. Tuesday nights are fun because we get to do Tuesday nights live. We get to spend 2 hours together, and I'm now live on Facebook and YouTube. And, the YouTube group, they'll get used to this too. The Facebook group will get used to what YouTube already knows about. And so we do it every week. So listen, we just wrapped up a series of shows that we were on the road doing. I don't think we're going anywhere, maybe for a month and a half. At earliest, it'd be 6 weeks. So I've already lined up some shows coming up here. Let's see what's on the schedule. Let's talk about the schedule. We've got, next week is, it's, okay, I didn't name it, but it is Maintenance and Insurance, the Slow Death of a Small Company. And it's crazy. I mean, it's terrible. I'm not even going to say it again. It's kind of awful. But it's going to be a great show because we're going to have my buddy Don back on the show. We got Hotshot Dave on the show. And then, of course, Ty, CTS Business Coaching, will be on the show. That's going to be another great show. That's going to be a great panel. Coming up in October. This is exciting. I'm slightly apprehensive because I want to make sure that it really happens. But we have Freight Waves scheduled to be on Auto Transport Intel in October. And we're talking about having many people from Freight Waves on the show. That's going to be really exciting. We're also going to bring ACV Auctions back on the show. You know, if you didn't already know, ACV Auctions, they also have figured out that working with the dealer is the way to go. And that's why there are so many loads available on ACV Auctions. Listen, I'm serious. I know you can't always get every customer that you want to get. And sometimes you need that load board to help fill in the spots. ACV Auctions. ACVauctions.com/ATI. That's where you go. That's a great place to get loads. So we're going to have ACV Auctions back on the show in October. We're also going to bring on Sue from Murphy Auto Transport. She's coming on the show in October. Oh, man, and we're going to wind up the rest of October. October 29th, Mark from Superflow Systems is going to be on the show. You are not going to want to miss that. So there's some great stuff coming up. And then maybe, if we're lucky, at the end of October, we'll go somewhere. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, we'll have to work that out. Listen, you guys, I really, really appreciate you tuning in and being a part of the show. I'm going to run the car hauler in a second. I'm just checking to make sure that there's any last comments. I see people saying goodnight, tuning off. Nobody says tuning off, Jay. Busy show, man. I was so busy. Thanks, Colin. There's a live chat from Colin. I was so busy I didn't even get around to the live scroll because we were in Detroit last week, and it's amazing. Week by week, I know this is how it goes. This is why you gotta build a rhythm, because you forget things already. It's only been a couple weeks and I forgot about the live scroll, so I'll get that back up and running next week. Listen, you guys, thank you so much. Here comes the car hauler. Remember, do good business, be good to each other, take care of your family, and be safe out there. Please be safe out there. I know it's kind of crazy. I hope you have a good rest of the week. I'll see you guys Tuesday. Thanks so much, and I'll talk to you then.